was at the pet store recently, and the man there said that he had a talking centipede for sale. Now, I didn't believe him, but I thought, okay, I'll bite. So I bought it and took it home. The first night, I told the centipede, hey, I'm heading out to the bar, you want to come? I looked at my new buddy, and he didn't say a word. The next night, same thing. Hey, heading to the bar, you want a drink? Nothing. The third night, I knew it was a scam, but I thought, oh heck, hey centipede, you want to go get a drink? And he said, I heard you the first time, I've just been trying to put my shoes on. Now that's a pretty funny joke, and that's just what this movie is, a joke. Centipede opens up with some scientists testing the soil over in India. They head down into a cave where their readings are off the charts. But really, no time to worry about that, because it's a cave, and you could be having sex down here. But it looks like our pal, the centipede, doesn't like that idea one bit. Now we're at some rich dude's house in New Hampshire. David Stone, meeting his friend Jake. David's getting married, and as a last hurrah, Jake's gathered up some friends, and they're gonna go to India on an adventure. And just guess where to. That's right, the same cave we saw in the beginning.
Goes down a good 3 miles or so.
Honestly, it makes sense. This is some rarely visited cave that only 8 people in the world have ever been to the bottom of. That would be pretty fun. But they don't know what's waiting down there for them. They meet with their friends, a bunch of people that are honestly only here to add to the body count. None of them are too important, except for Sarah and her boyfriend Dirk. Sarah just so happens to be David's ex.
It's not like you still have feelings for me.
Ooh, things are getting spicy now.
Okay then.
They meet up at the cave, with Kaffa being their guide. And we'll see later on, he's not a very good one. There's also a guy who doesn't like bugs. Boy, is he in for a treat. In the morning, they head on in, deeper and deeper into this very well-lit cave. Sarah and David are the first to head down, developing this weird sexual tension right off the bat.
Beat ya.
I mean, she's with Dirk and David's getting married, but okay. Everyone else joins them and they travel further and further down into the earth. This is the part I think most people would have turned the movie off. All the characters are just gearing up and there's this horrible music. It all just sucks. But thankfully, after like 10 minutes, it's over and they finally reach the lowest point in the cave, 3 miles below the Earth's surface, where a relationship is starting to rekindle. And can you blame the guy? Gee whiz. There's no way around it. Sarah's hot. They celebrate David's marriage, which I'm sure will be over by the end of this movie, the way he's checking out his ex. But as they celebrate, this nerd gets up to take a leak. And just like Bigfoot in the woods, centipedes don't like it when you pee in their cave. He's attacked, but he's not going out without a fight. And he lights a flare, which ignites a bunch of dynamite. And kaboom! The whole place goes up in flames. Which, as you can imagine, being 3 miles deep is a bad thing. The exit's sealed off, but luckily there are other passages. It's just they haven't been explored yet. There's really little hope of getting out of here. But still, what can you do? So they trek onward. Up on the surface, some scientists felt the explosion and now know that there's a team down there. Assuming that they're trapped, they race to help dig them out.
I think someone else is down there too.
Back underground, the group decides to split up and look for an exit. Yeah, that always works out well. The other girl, Zoe, is attacked, getting hit with one of those spinning camera kills. Nice. After she dies, the rest of the group sees the giant centipede and now knows what they're dealing with. Not only are they trapped down here, but now they have this chasing them? Good luck. They make it to safety and start yelling at Kaffa for being such a terrible guide. Which he is. He brought no equipment down here at all. And speaking of equipment, they hear a radio, but no one brought one down. Well, it turns out that it's coming from inside the Centipede from some other poor soul it ate. Somehow it still works. Here, Owen's the last in the line, so he's next. They all make it out of the tunnel and into an opening. They quickly pull down a couple stalactites and use them to block up the entrance, buying some time. But now what? They're stuck in a room with only a small pool of water. No choice but to get wet, and that's what David does, making it to the other side, closer to an exit. So that's some good news. The bad news is, well, their homemade rock door isn't going to last much longer. The Centipede's making its way through. They all get to the other side, except for Dirk, who stays behind to fight it a bit, actually managing to cut the thing in half. That's good, but it doesn't stop. It just splits off, and now there's two of them to deal with. He rushes over to the other side, and they all just hope and pray that these things can't swim. But guess what? They can. They hide out on the wall until they think the coast is clear. But it's not. Sarah, using a flare gun, manages to take this half out. Even better news is that this is the half that had the radio inside of it. Now they could communicate with the surface.
Hello, is there anybody out there?
I've made contact.
With this info, they're guided up higher and higher until they find an underground building full of toxic barrels. So that explains a lot. But look around. Someone's missing. Where's David?
He's down there, I know it.
Well, even though they're so close to an exit, Sarah just can't bear leaving him behind, even though her boyfriend is right there. Eventually, she finds him and they all meet up. But he was hiding from the final Centipede, who sees the rest of them and attacks. They run away, making it to the barrel room, and Dirk tries to buy him some time, which doesn't work out so well for him. The others make it to the door, and it's sealed shut. They're gonna have to blast it open from the other side. Luckily, they're prepared for this.
Okay.
And once the Centipede gets close, boom! They blast the door, killing the giant bug. Our heroes emerge from the hole, and the crowd goes wild.
And the crowd goes wild. Yay!
Sarah and David are just about to make out when another final Centipede bursts up from the ground and takes no prisoners. It just about kills Jake, but he manages to electrocute it. But you didn't think that would stop it, did ya? Sarah and David rush off to a truck filled with TNT and rig it to explode. Once the monster gets close enough, David makes his escape and
boom goes the dynamite.
In the end, David and Sarah finally get their time to make out. Yeah, cheating on your now dead boyfriend and living fiance is just great. These are our heroes of the movie, folks. I guess adultery isn't always a sin. And that was Centipede, the very definition of a bad creature feature. It almost qualifies for the so bad it's good, but unfortunately it's in the so bad it's bad category. The special effects, although I'm glad they weren't CGI, looked like a rubber puppet. The acting is something that must be truly seen to believe, and the story is about as thin as a blade of grass. Is there anything that redeems this movie? Well, yeah, actually, two things. One, the makeup was actually pretty well done. All these people went deeper and deeper into the cave, and their bruises and scrapes got more defined. And by the end of it, they were pretty dirty. So that was nice to see. The other good thing? Well, that would be Margaret Cash, Sarah. She was easy on the eyes, And I was surprised to see that this is her one and only movie that she's ever been in. I guess Centipede will do that to ya. This movie is like a really bad Sci-Fi Channel movie, but you would only get about 15 minutes into before turning it off. I give Centipede 1.5 centipedes putting their shoes on out of 4.